Here is where we ran into a little bit of a problem. We've got a distance from here over here. That's 113 inches. And you can see I got two cabinets setting in place, and I've got a third one that I'm working on that when you add them up, they are 114 inches. So as most of you could probably guess, they don't fit. So we've got to figure out how to get them to fit in there. So here's what we're doing. We're taking our router and we're going to trim off the ends of the cabinet that has an overhang. I'm halfway through on this side of this cabinet. As you can see, right here, there's just a little bit of material left before it hits the side of the cabinet. This one down here has already been done. I got that one flush with the outside, so that should give me 1/4 inch of the inch that I need. And on this one, I'm over there and I've got about 1/8 of an inch off. So here I'm going to go and show you how I'm doing it. I'm taking my flush trim. Well, it's not a flush trim. It's more like a rabbit bit. I don't know the names of the bits very well. But it's all flat and sharp right there. Taking it and hogging it off the top of this. I have to do it in 2 passes because my board is wider than my tool. So I'm going to try to set it up and show you what that looks like. Okay, here we go. We've just made one cut on here. Now I'm going to adjust my depth. And take it another pass. Safety glasses, of course. We'll get the next cabinet, take off both sides again, take off a little bit less than this, and leave ourselves the last cabinet to play with to get the fit really close. Okay, here is that cabinet sitting against the wall. I still got some work to do on the gap, but until I get the other put in there, I think that's going to work. Alright, here we go. I'm going to go move the other cabinet, put it in there, probably move that one out of the way so I can clamp those together and look at that edge and try to decide if I need to do anything with that. Okay, there you can see it looks a lot better that way. I'm definitely going to want to touch that with something. I'll probably try a couple different things. We'll see how that goes. But now that I got these in here, I'm going to take a measurement and see what I want to do to this guy. Originally, before I took any measurements, my plan was to take a little bit off of that end and then leave this end for getting it fit in there nice and tight and flush. And we'll see how much I need to take off before I start making any kind of cuts. Well, here's where we stand. The cabinet comes really close to fitting in there, which actually kind of surprises me. I thought I had more to take off than what I've taken off. Well, it's a good thing I wasn't more aggressive on that last cabinet. That might have caused me some problems. So I got some finagling to do. I think it's not sitting in there square. There's a bigger gap at the bottom than at the top. I don't think I can show you because of how dark it is. But I'm going to wrestle with that and see what I can get and try to make a decision on how much I need to take off. Okay. Now, to get rid of this line here, we're going to take our first stab out of it using a sanding block. And we're going to touch it up with some of this Old English for dark wood. And if we can't get that to work, we will probably take a black magic marker and mark over the edge of it. But I have a good feeling that this will work. I'm going to sand it down a little bit to get some of the edges off that don't clamp together very well, at least this way. And when I drill it and hold it tight with screws, it'll pull it together tighter than those clamps are anyways. So we're going to give this a go and see what we can do. Okay, here we go. We've got this pulled apart. Hit it with the sanding block real quick, and we got rid of most of the little starts and stops and the areas where the pressure changed on the bit. So it should fit together better and tighter. So I'm going to clean that up and then give it a little go with that Old English stuff and see how it turns out. Okay. Here we go with one pass of that Old English stuff. That's clearly darker. Oh, it's definitely going to help. I'm not sure it's going to be quite dark enough, but we'll do the other side and clamp it together and see what she looks like. We got one pass on the other side, and I might end up letting that dry. I might try to put a second coat on after I let it dry. But before I do that, I'm going to move it back together and see what the edge looks like, see if it looks any different. Okay, here's where it's all clamped back together. And the seam looks pretty good. It's hard to tell what's going on there. And I think that it probably has more to do with sanding it, hitting down those high spots, just getting a little bit better. Oh, two cleaner edges to clamp together, you know, to remove some of the gap that was in there. It makes it look better than probably anything else. I may just give it a go with that. That looks pretty good. Alright. Okay, we got this sucker in here. Fits pretty good. There's a slight gap at the top. It's kind of hard to see. And it fits pretty tight at the bottom. So I'm going to get these doors off, line it up with a clamp, and then check what we got on the other end and see how it fits. Looks like it's going to be pretty good. Okay, here's a quick shot of some of the tools I'm using. I had some questions on this, so I figured I would show you, and I'll leave some links in the description to let you see more about them and read about them or anything you'd like to know. So, as for the screws that I'm using these GRK specialty screws for cabinets. The one to mount the cabinets have a big wide head on it. There's a couple of different ways people mount cabinets. There's this way gives you kind of a washer head screw, and other people will pre-drill and put a counter bit and a regular flathead screw. I prefer this method. And then to join the cabinet faces together, I use these trim head screws. They have a, where are you at over here? See if we can zoom in on that. They have a little button head on them that does a much better job of sinking into the wood without mushrooming out. Oh, that's what I've been using. Alright, we got that last cabinet in, and it fits pretty good. I kind of have an issue with some twist. I don't think I can get it to show up on here. But getting the front to line up here is fairly straightforward. I don't know if right there. But then as I go to the bottom, it kicks out and twists out. So when I fix one and the other one, so I'm chasing it back and forth. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start fixing these cabinets. I'm going to start by pre-drilling this one, getting the front face together, then I'm going to mount this one back to the studs and then work my way left to right. And we should have her all fixed up here in just a few minutes. Alright, here we go. We got the first two cabinets. We got them screwed to the wall, screwed together. Everything is going real good. Everything's level, straight, true, and plumb, which is kind of a surprise with the way I have luck with things. Well, my next trick will be to get these two cabinet fronts to match up and screwed together. While I was playing with them before, they had a little twist in it, so hopefully I can be able to pull that out with the clamps and get it screwed in tight, and then I'll get it mounted to the wall and we'll call her good on that side. After I guess we put the drawers back in and the doors on. Then we'll come and work on the other side. Alright, there we go. The final cabinet on that side. Fits in there nice and screwed down tight. Closed all the gaps. And attached to the wall. Should be good to go. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and put in the drawers and the doors. We got them all attached. All the drawers put in, doors put on, drawers or shelves put in. Got all this other stuff. We even gave them a good once over. Wiped them all down. Got them looking pretty good. Smells better in here. Wiped them down with this stuff. We've had some luck with that in the past, cleaning some other cabinets. Now, some of it soaks in differently or has residual oils on there. It's different. I'm not sure what's going on, but got some corners here where you can obviously see where some of it is. So we'll have to check in on that. Maybe it needs more, maybe it needs wiped down again. I don't know. We'll get her figured out. Anyways, that's a pretty good accomplishment in my mind. Those were too long for the space, and was able to trim them down and get good, I don't know, good gaps, good joints, whichever way you want to look at it. I mean, that's really hard to tell. There we go. Focus in on that. So we got the kick panels to put in, but we'll do that after the flooring, I think. And you got this one. This one was a little bit more challenging. The cabinets kind of sit in there as a twist to each other. But all in all, looks good. Here's the gap that we left at the end. Can't really see it on the video. I can't barely see it in person either, so I think we're gonna be okay on that one. Well, that's about all for this side.